Welcome back to Easy Dispel. I'm Andrew Day, the Dungeon Master for this campaign. Joining me, as always, are Relton Denethir, our Dragonborn uh, deceased ally for this current episode. Uh, uh, Valalov, our human cleric. Raven, our half-elven ranger. And Kaya Bauer, our tiefling sorcerer. Um, if you're I'm drawing a blank all of a sudden. I do this every week, and apparently signing on is going to be causing me problems today. Also, a huge part of our cast is going to be Syrinscape, because Epic Games need epic sound. All of our ambient noise that you'll be hearing, any music, anything in the background, that is all powered by Syrinscape. Go check them out. They're an awesome addition to your home game. Whether or not you're streaming or online, it's just a fantastic addition to have. Um, and I think that's all
YouTube.
my. Oh yeah, you can check it. Like, comment, subscribe. It helps us out so much. I'll start paying more attention if we start getting at 100 subscribers. I'll start paying attention to what I'm supposed to say at the beginning of the episodes.
We'll get him a script.
It's more fun
Yeah,
this way.
at 100 episodes, I get a script. Yeah. So any interaction that you guys have with our page, it really helps us out and lets us know people are watching and helps us grow and develop the channel. Quick recap where we left off last time. You guys continuing to set through the woods. You didn't have as many like fun encounters with spirits and dryads and things like that this time around. You did, through a miraculous roll, encounter the leader of the exile camp from the three settlements, Mythili, Mythai, Mythili, who kind of explained a few questions to Raven as he was on watch, and then she moved on. Our Dragonborn had a really awesome moment where he scared off a pack of dire wolves that had been attacking the camp, or been setting to attack the camp. But he set himself up, scared them off, and then an owl bear happened to also attack the camp the following night, which was pretty immediately dispatched by our party. There was an interesting moment at the end of our last episode where, continuing on towards Falks, the neighboring settlement and ally of Harlan's Landing, the settlement you're traveling from, unnoticed by you, there was a very emaciated, thin woman in the forest crying, who Orelton was the only person that noticed as he approached, and very rudely, the rest of you had moved on. Walked up to make sure she was okay, reaching out to touch her shoulder as she latched onto him with an unnatural strength. Uh, and to the rest of you, watching Orelton walk off into the woods, grumbling to himself about having to do everything, he stopped for a moment, froze, and fell to the ground dead. This is where we pick up the rest of you in a dark, overcast wood with your dragonborn companion dead on the ground.
Oh crap! Oh crap! Oh crap! Is he okay?
He- he's he's dead. He has no pulse.
Do something.
I've never done this before, but let me just try something. I'm gonna try and cast Revivify.
So you
That works.
pull out a 500 gold piece diamond?
300 gold piece diamond. I'm gonna pull the one that's on the necklace off of my neck and try and save him.
Okay. We're going to pause here for a moment as you pull this family heirloom of yours off of your neck. You place it against him. The diamond shatters, collapsing into dust. We're going to move over to Orelton for a moment, who darkness has just overtaken you, and you find yourself floating, weightless, in this empty expanse. Pitch black as far as the eye can see. As you're looking around, you kind of raise your eyes in front of you, and kind of forming out of the darkness around you, the floor, like there's floor that kind of pieces itself together, forming as you're watching it, and your feet land upon it, weight kind of returning to you. Walls kind of build from the shadow around you. The wall in front of you, an empty fireplace with no fire going, and a chair facing towards you. And the same woman who's still thin, still gaunt, but with much more presence here. Kind of the room still filling around you, building out of the shadow and darkness, almost collapsing into place as you look and start paying attention to things more falls into. Bookshelves with shadowed images that keep, like, as you look at them, kind of shift and move. Just illegible, just too much to like information on these walls to really comprehend. And this woman's sunken eyes staring into you.
Before I say anything, I'm not going to draw it, but I'm going to check to make sure I have a weapon on me, or if I'm alone.
You do not have a weapon. You are alone. It's you. As you're paying attention to it, you're fully naked as well. Like, this is, you are stripped to your essence. And
Thought it'd be a lot longer before you found me, if I'm being honest.
I've been hunting with every bit of my remaining strength. I don't know that you comprehend what you did to me.
I don't know if I did either, but I thought I was home free.
My reach is not as far as it even once was.
Yeah, you're not looking too great.
Neither are you. Your friends now are trying to save you still.
I'm going to assume you're not going to let that happen, huh?
We'll see. I have unfinished business for you to attend to.
Okay. Yo.
My bonds are weakened. My power is dwindling. But I can promise you something. Never will you find rest in peaceful death, as long as I have nothing to do but pay my remaining attentions to you.
That's big words. I don't know if you have the strength to back it up.
I have only the strength to back this up. What I want is the strength for you to become but a nuisance again. You, and only you, can return to me the followers I once had. The one you slew was the last to bear my name upon his lips. And so my name, you will carry forward. And as my strength returns, maybe then I'll let you rest.
And the alternative is what? We spend the rest of eternity with locked horns like this?
You and I have the patience of a god. Vala, as the diamond in your hand shatters and breaks across the chest of Orelton, for a moment you think that it just didn't work. It's for whatever there was some magical barrier between it. And after a few seconds of your hand just pressed against his chest, you feel a little bit of warmth return as Orelton takes a deep breath.
Fuck.
What the
Oh,
hell
shit.
happened?
Fuck. fuck. And Overelton just gets up, pulls out his sword, goes into a rage, and just starts beating the tree next to him as hard as he can.
What?
And
What are you doing?
he casts, doesn't cast, but it happens, Channel Divinity Dreadful Aspect, and his skin goes sallow, and he gets a little bit more dragony, and his teeth get sharper, and y'all need to make a wisdom saving throw.
That's not good.
18.
8.
Solid.
12.
Okay, so it was a low DC, so Raven, you're terrified of me for the next minute. So he just keeps beating the tree, and then he takes a final swing, leaves the greatsword in the tree, and storms off into the forest.
What is happening?
I don't know. That's not a side effect I've ever heard of.
What?
Maybe he saw something in death?
I mean, he he was just fine, and then he died, and then he gets up and he's pissed. Like what?
I don't want to be around him.
I mean, I don't blame you, but
I'll go after him.
No,
you don't need to go by yourself. Hold on.
Yeah, Raven, you're not gonna be able to like go with them.
I'm gonna.
Don't
Yeah,
wanna
no,
go.
I'm gonna stay right next to
Oh,
this sword.
Was it the ironwood sword that you'd found previously that's now left in the tree, or your old greatsword?
The old greatsword.
Okay.
Then,
Yeah.
if you're not gonna come along, just stay right there. Don't move.
I'm staying here. I'm not going anywhere.
Kaya and Vala, like you guys kind of going into the woods now, like it's an easy trail. You can hear him in the distance. Just
Crashing through shit.
yeah.
I think we just follow him until he stops.
I mean, I can make him stop.
Tired sometime. How would you make him stop? Don't hurt him.
It wouldn't hurt him. All right. So if we get up close enough to him, I'm gonna cast Hold Person on him.
Okay. Are you moving full speed, Elton? Or like,
I'm not like booking it through the forest, so I would assume it would just be my walking speed.
okay, yeah. That's if you guys are like gaining, trying to like catch up. That's you are able to pretty quickly moving up on him.
Yep.
That's the
as soon as
first
I
thing you
see
do when
him.
you.
Yeah, as soon as I can get a good line of sight on him, I'm gonna cast Hold Person.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go ahead and make your. Is it a wisdom saving throw?
Wisdom, 15.
Wizzy 15. Dirty 20.
Ooh.
So about 150 feet into the forest, Orelton's just stopped. And
If you were stopped, I wouldn't have cast it, but I already said it, so.
yeah.
We'll say this is like as he was coming to it. This is like you cast it as he kind of like slows down to a stop.
I just stop and find a tree. I'm just like resting with my head down against this tree.
Vala's gonna wait to go into that clearing and like tell Kaya like let's just wait and look like silently, you know.
Nothing happens, so I just sit there, breathing heavy.
After probably about 30 seconds of silence, I'm gonna just start making a beeline for him. And I get up kind of close and, you all right, Elton?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You sure? I mean, you're just dead.
Was I?
Yeah.
That sounds like something she'd do. Yeah,
She.
I'm fine. It's just a bit of my past catching up with me. Uh,
Is it bad? What? Ven is terrified of you right now. By the way,
yeah, I
he
get that.
couldn't even set foot in this direction.
I get that. He's small and breakable. I'd be afraid of me too. I'll apologize to him in a minute.
Vala is pretty upset as well.
I'll look back. Can I see you, Vala?
She's like half hiding behind a bush, just watching, like afraid you're gonna get upset at her, but still wants to help.
Wow. Well, at least she came in. Did you at least see her?
No, we saw you. We heard you say, "Do you not see this, or do you see something?" And then you're like, "All right, fine." And at that point, we turned around and you were just walking away to us. You walked to a tree, and you just fell to the ground. You were dead, no pulse. You weren't breathing. Vala, she had a necklace. She pulled a gem or something from it, pushed it against you, and then it disappeared. And it it took a second, but then you started breathing again.
Well, I don't think we'll be worried about me passing away anytime soon.
Sure, because I mean that kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah. So before I came over on the
Well,
boat,
Maybe if maybe everyone should hear this.
sure, yeah.
I mean, do what you want, but
Now let's go back, and I'll head back with Bauer.
So how long does the terrified condition last?
A minute.
Okay, so it's
In
right
that,
Um,
I was gonna say, in that time, I just want to look at the sword, see if his sword has any like scripting or anything like that I can see, not necessarily maybe understand, but that I can see, or and try to pull the sword out of the tree.
or Elton, did your sword have any markings or any particular inscriptions?
Nope. Big black greatsword. It's
Okay.
black greatsword. It flares out at the tip and then comes to a half crescent at the very end. It's a iron hilt with leather banding around it, and everything else is very plain.
It's you're able to get it out of the tree after a little bit of work. It wasn't like one clean set into the tree. It's like he set at this for a good 30 seconds before actually leaving it in the tree and going back, so it comes out pretty easily. That's
as we're walking somewhat back, once I feel we're within around 120 feet of Raven,
Mhm.
I'm gonna pull out my. I'm gonna grab the necklace with my crystal there,
Mhm.
and kind of whisper into it and point in the direction of Raven and say, "Raven, we're on our way back. We'll be there in a minute. Are you good?"
I don't trust him.
And that magical terrified effect does sort of fade from you over a little bit period of time, especially once he's out of view, being able to settle in. You guys make it back to the small clearing where Elton had originally collapsed.
So sorry about all that.
As they come in, I'm gonna step 20 or 10 feet back.
You good, Raven?
No.
I get it. Pretty terrifying sometimes, and that divine aura makes it worse.
What the
So
hell
take your time.
happened?
I was told I died.
Yeah.
Yes. You were on the ground. You weren't breathing. No pulse. And
Yeah. So Bauer told me y'all didn't see the lady that was here, huh?
What lady?
Before I came over to this continent, I was a paladin of the Order of List. Anybody ever heard of List?
No.
Can I make a check to see if I've heard of a list?
Yeah, go ahead and make a religion check.
Let's see. 7.
No. It's
No.
not a god that you'd ever heard of.
Nobody?
No.
And she's
So I heard of it.
god of secrets and deception, so that makes a lot of sense. Anyway, I had been in her service for quite a while, and it's not important, but I was hired on a job to attain a magical artifact, and job went south, and I ended up in a tussle with this older half-elf guy, and well, I mean, I obviously wrecked him. Look at me. But she didn't take too kindly to that. When I tried to turn in this artifact to the folks who hired me, they stabbed me in the back, and they killed me then too. That's why you see this. And he like lifts his neck up, and you see that long gray scar along his neck.
So not
And
literally stabbed in the back, but
metaphorically speaking, I suppose. But I found myself, however long later, face down in a ditch, and decided maybe it was time to get off that continent. And so here I am. I thought I was home free. Thought I could build a new life out here, but she's clearly followed me this far.
And she just kills you?
I didn't know what she wanted from me until just now. Sounds like she wants me to rebuild her following, but I don't know. I've spent long enough shoveling other people's shit. I mean, what can she do to me? Are we just we're gonna just tussle for the next 1,000 years? She's not gonna let me die. I'm not gonna do what she says. We'll just be going back and forth for the next 1,000 years.
I mean, I feel
I don't
like association puts us a little in danger.
I don't think she gives a shit about you. No offense. In fact, I know she doesn't give a shit about you. Unless you all would like to become followers of the list, which right now I cannot recommend.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
So she's bringing you back to use you?
Use me, torment me. I don't know. I didn't know this was happening until just now, so this is as new to you or new to me as it is to you.
why would she expect you to be able to build her a following? Who was this man you killed?
I don't know. He was older guy, half elf. Alduin, something like that. I don't remember his name. He was just the guy guarding the relic.
Question, would Vala know this from her family's past?
Give me 2 checks. I want you to make a history check with advantage, and then 1 more religion check for me.
Okay. The history check with advantage is an 11. And the religion is a 20, not nat.
Okay, so from your history check, as he says Alduin, like part of this, like your family's stories, that's your grandmother did have a companion that she and your grandfather Baldwin kept in contact with, uh, Alduin, or who. Which I realize we have
Baldwin.
random
Baldwin and
Baldwin
Baldwin?
and Alduin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're
Um,
friends.
they served together at the what is referred to as the Siege of Uldric's Bastion, after which Alduin had kind of settled in and was he was a priest in this town. You were never familiar with his deity, anything like that. Was kept pretty distant, but it was somebody that your grandmother, well, you knew her for, kept in touch. Is an old traveling companion. Um, your religion check, the 20, based on how you're just from how you're questioning, like, what is she like? She wants you to rebuild the following. Um, gods get their power directly from being worshipped, and they can turn around and give that power back to the most devout worshippers. And so um, that would be like the reason you could kind of surmise that she's wanting Orelton to rebuild her following is because she's low on, like, she's running out of power. Whoever this god might be, you're not sure, but like the more powerful like the more followers a deity has, the more powerful they tend to be.
Yeah, I don't think she wants it to be me. I think she's just low on options.
And you said he was guarding a relic?
Yeah, like a spear, if I recall. Long metal spear. I know I didn't really ask too many questions about that. It was down on my luck at the time, and Dragonborn's just got to eat, you know?
So what brought you back the first time?
Like I said. And then I found myself face down in a ditch. Could have been her, could have been someone else.
That's right. Your character has a scar right along the neck, right?
Yep. Big old long gray scar against the black scales.
Hmm.
See, I don't know, maybe. Did I what?
Did you wake up as viciously last time as you did this time?
No, I was a lot more confused at the time. I mean, this time I had a reason to be angry. If somebody tells you they're not ever going to let you die until you rebuild their cult, you'd be pissed too. Again, sorry, Raven.
So not only do we have this to worry about, but last night we had somebody watching us.
Who?
We got paid a visit from the leader of the exiles. She wa-
The what is it?
Mythologue,
What's her
is
name?
that her name?
Sorry, can I interrupt out of game real quick?
Yeah.
Andrew, level 6 barbarian has the warrior of the gods, which doesn't require the components for resurrection spell.
Mhm.
Did you want me to, or did you want Bala to still have that diamond, or
Is
You're
it
not
level
level
6 or is it
6
level
though.
3?
sorry, it's level 3.
Oh,
That's what I have now.
I will say for this that's the main diamond is still broken because I think out of game still. I don't think she technically had. This is the power of the goddess taking
Bringing her back.
something to allow you to come back.
Okay. Continue.
yeah, Mythile, the name that we saw in the note. She's watching us.
Hmm.
And
What?
I can tell you that she is not pleased with our governor.
Who, Renault? He seems like a nice enough guy.
Not according to what she said. She used to
Huh, he
be
said-
she used to be a participant, a resident of our camp, and was exiled for disagreeing.
Of course, she's upset with him. I mean,
Yeah.
I would be upset if I were exiled as well.
The reason for exile, though, was simply disagreeing with the manufacturing of the, taking out the forest, taking more than what's needed. She didn't do anything to the camp. She just expressed disagreement that we should be only taking what we need. She said that he wants to rule the land.
Well, he's got a
Well, I
long way
mean-
to go if that's what he's trying to do.
Well, I mean, typically when you're coming to claim new land, I mean, that's the goal.
It's also important to quell dissent when you're that small of a institution. So I mean, that's just one side of the story, right? She's upset with him. He hadn't said dick about her.
She didn't. She had to mark the brand, but it wasn't just a fresh branding. She had, it appeared to be actual vine stitching through the brand, repairing it.
Huh.
And she mentioned over and over again that we need to only take what we need and nothing more.
What'd she look like?
She was half elf like me, all black.
I wonder if this is the main lady Alessandro's talking about.
I hadn't thought about that. It's an interesting idea. Well, I mean, either way, we've talked to two interested parties in the region, right? We definitely don't have a clear story of what's going on.
I will say I do agree with the sentimentality of only take what we need, and I think that that is a trend that we should stick with.
I get it, but what? I mean, where does the line? Where's the line drawn at need? You know?
I mean, deforesting is not a need.
Not a need for one person. It's
Not a
for
need for
city.
one person, but a need for many. I can tell you there's not enough deadfall to create as many cabins as what we have.
Or is what you would need to support a civilization.
It's just kind of in the eyes of those who see it.
That being said, I'm just a grunt, and I don't know what the hell's going on in this area. So maybe we get to Falks. That'll shed a little bit of light on the subject.
Yeah. Get their opinion on certain things and kind of go from there. Who knows? Maybe one day make a trip up to Eld instead.
Yeah, aren't
but
they
that's-
dicks up there? Isn't that what we
I
heard?
mean, that's one side of the story, though.
Okay, touche. I see what you did there.
Well,
So, but if we do go to Ald instead, it's probably something we keep under wraps.
Sure.
But
she
that's for
did.
another day.
She did welcome us to come to the exile camp, but we have to come with weapons away.
Sure. I mean, wouldn't
Okay.
walk into Fox with your swords drawn, would you?
Well, I think we need to head to Falks first, get their opinion, maybe talk to them about the caravan, see which path they took. Because I'm sure you are as well. A little surprised we haven't run into them.
Yeah, it seems odd.
Feel like the shoreline would be the easiest way to get there, but who knows? Maybe there's another pathway that they take. But unlikely, but
Let's keep pushing and nobody step away. Stick together.
Agreed.
All right. So I'll continue pushing through 'em. And I remember you had decided to cut through the forest to see if you'd came across any other paths, right? Like you didn't continue just following the coast there.
Right.
Right.
yeah, we followed. What was it exactly? We were following the path until because we were following footprints. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and you had cut in and then just decided to cut across.
Cross. Gotcha. So we added probably. You said it was we were like an hour deep, hour and a half.
Yeah, you're probably an hour and a half or so deep. And then you kind of started cutting just the straight line towards Falks because it didn't slow you down any. Raven's survivalist skills make it so he can just kind of keep a bead.
That's
on the
right. So
path.
we initially we went offshore without following the footprints, and then we found the footprints, and that's where we started to follow them.
Yeah.
Got it.
You guys continue through. You kind of get to the evening. You have about 1 day's left journey. You'll get to Falks kind of mid-afternoon the next day. Based on this, Raven, are you going hunting again, or are you relying on rations for this last night?
Probably rely on rations with everything that's happened.
Right. Go ahead and as you guys all kind of settle in to make camp, if I can get a round of perception checks just from everybody. This is before your actual watches.
17.
18.
2.
17.
17. David, you got an 18?
Yep.
Kaya, kind of as you guys kind of wander around, you're all staying close together, but looking for a good spot to make camp here in the forest. David, you see up in the tree, there's like a cat watching you. And as you notice that it looks at you, it flies away.
That's odd.
What?
You ever seen a flying cat?
Those don't
Specifically in
exist.
the middle of a forest?
No.
And I want to point when I say it flies away, like it extends long, like 2-foot wings and flies away
Flies
like
away.
a bird.
Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't just float off.
Let me specify. You ever seen a cat with wings?
No. Can't say
Yeah, I
I
didn't
have.
think so. Well, well, there was one in that tree, and it just flew off in that direction. I'm not sure what to make of it, but yeah, that's a thing.
This forest just keeps getting weirder and weirder.
Flying
Well,
cats, you
I'm-
think they ate flying squirrels?
Maybe. I
I think they
mean,
could catch them, I imagine.
rodent versus feline,
Right. Just airborne edition.
right?
Anyway.
All right. You guys all settle in for camp for the evening. You, everybody, give me a round of perception checks just for your watches for the evening.
7.
7.
14.
Oh, Relton is reeling his head with a 6.
Wow. Raven, during your watch, so nothing attacks you on any of your watches. Or sorry, on your watch, nothing attacks you. But you do actually also spot, like watching you from a tree, like a little, like the size of a house cat, just kind of watching you. And it flies off kind of the same direction that David had intonated, which is a little off your path, but not too crazy. You can make a nature check if you'd like,
Yes.
with disadvantage, because this isn't something that you'd be.
That would be a 18.
18. Yeah, you're not 100% sure what this might be.
I'm just gonna.
Um,
Psst, 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 psst.
as it comes through, as you like point out, like make noise at it, it stretches the wings and flies off.
Okay.
Um, Vala, your watch goes by without any noticeable events. Orelton, if anything did happen on yours, you're far too just in your own head to really pay attention. Kaya, during your watch, you're kind of going and you kind of nod off a little bit. You wake up and nod off. One of the times you kind of wake up. It's weird because like for a second, it looks like there's these just bright blue eyes watching you from the woods. You kind of shake your head and they're gone. You must have just dozed off for a second. So you kind of settle back into your watch. And you hear heavy breathing next to you. And you look to the side, and right next to you, breathing practically down your neck, is a direwolf. Black fur, blue eyes, just drooling like a low snarl at his throat. And it's just staring at you.
Reaches for his crystal. Pulls it out
Sure.
slowly.
As your hand touches your chest, you feel that spot on your shoulder is ice cold. And as you kind of pull your crystal out from underneath your shirt, you notice there's a light blue glow that follows it, which is a similar color tone to the eyes of the wolf that's just staring at you, waiting for something.
Just gonna hold on to that. I'm gonna slowly reach out.
It snarls a little bit as your hand comes up, but it doesn't move. It leans towards you a little bit.
Gonna back away slightly.
Bares even more of its teeth and takes a step towards you as you back away, just keeping that same distance.
Hey guys. Guys?
Ooh. Don't move. And I will grab my sword.
It's paying no attention to any of you guys, but it is just staying, and it takes another little step, slowly stepping towards Kaya until it's inches from his own face, and it stands like as tall as you, Orelton,
It's a big wolf.
but it's just inches away from Kaya. Low growl, just not breaking eye contact.
I will knock an arrow and aim it at the direwolf.
And I'll see if I can't. If it's not looking at me, I'm going to try and circle to a flank.
Are we doing this?
Are we killing this, or it doesn't look like it wants to hurt you?
Just wait.
I'm gonna reach out again.
Lowers its nose a little bit without breaking eye contact with you.
I'm gonna reach forward and I'm gonna touch him.
You reach out and touch it, and kind of your fingers run through this thick, coarse wolf's fur, and it finally breaks eye contact, lowering its head. pressing into your hand and then just dissipating into smoke. It then wraps around your arm, runs up it, pulling underneath your shirt, and just dissipates.
Apparently, there's vanishing dogs in this forest too.
Everyone else saw that, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have no explanation for that?
Not really.
Do you feel different?
Which way did the
A little
smoke go?
cold.
Did it go in a direction or just?
Yeah, it ran into David, and then as some of it just kind of dissipated off off into the woods, but not nearly as much as it hit David.
Could we
Take
tell that it
it
ran? Could we tell that it ran up his sleeve?
I'm actually gonna say, yeah, it was almost like a noticeable effect as it found entryways and stuff. It pulled into under his clothes, and then the dissipating smoke came out from under his collar. And
Did you see the eyes too? I've never seen a wolf with eyes that blue.
So,
Kaya, I don't mean to sound crude, but take your shirt off.
you're talking about this, and I pull over the shoulder a little bit to where you could see the black handprint.
okay,
No, I mean more.
Right. Takes it off.
Is there a wolf tattoo now?
I think so. For one, give me a perception check, Vala, as you look at this.
I'd like to look too, if that's all right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
same.
welcome to.
17 plus 7, that's 24. Sorry.
24.
13.
I
It's
know it's
natural
probably
one,
totally
so-
ridiculous to believe, but
And what did you get, Raven?
13.
13. So, Raven, Kaya, Vala, you all notice this. The handprint. He doesn't have a wolf tattoo or anything. But there are almost filigree around the handprint that as you get closer and they're pawing and pushing at your chest to see this guy. But it's this intricate script that actually looks like a running wolf, and little images of not trees necessarily. If you were to cast a shadow that looked like a tree, these shadowy trees with this wolf moving between them. With having beaten a 20, you notice that one of the runes that you had read before is different. And you can use your Helm of Comprehend Languages as the time you're spending to look at this. It's a simple change. The rune where it read 26 now reads 25.
remind me what the whole thing said again?
This one born to be marked for death of Maldus, and now
You're-
reads 25.
Cut out just a little bit
Oh.
there.
Sorry, this one born to Ithis be marked for death if of Maldus speaks, and then 25. Where I had previously read 26.
Ooh. And Ithis is who he's born to?
Yeah, born to Ithis. Ithis.
Kaya, who is Ithis?
I don't know.
I see if he actually does know. Is he lying?
You're welcome to make an insight check.
Yeah, I'm great at these.
David, go right ahead and roll either persuasion or deception, whichever one it may be.
Don't think you have to. It's a 2.
I think Vol is.
Is this?
So
Can I? I hate being that character that's like, oh yeah, insight. Can I do that too? But
Yeah,
can I?
no, this was like you specifically talking to him. Who is at this? Like,
I got a 9 with a +7. I got a 9.
You rolled what I rolled.
David, what was your number?
I rolled a natural 18.
Yeah, go ahead and tell him whatever you want. And this is what you guys believe.
So he doesn't appear to be lying. Little hard to read. But I mean, it seems truthful.
And the inscription said he can't talk about, or he's marked for death if he talks about
Maldus.
Maldus.
Aldous.
Well, if that's enough body inspection, I'd like to at least get my shirt back on.
I.
It's a little
You're
awkward.
fine. I would like you to be aware that your countdown is dropping.
What countdown?
On the script on your tattoo.
You can read that?
Points at the helm.
Is that what that does?
Yes.
You never told me what that helmet does, so that's why.
Oh, didn't I?
You never told him what was on his chest either.
Oh yeah.
No.
I
I just thought that you thought you looked cool in it or something. I don't know.
Yes, I can comprehend languages.
All of them?
There's a number?
And anything I can see. It was 26 and it now says 25. It also looks like you have wolves running through trees now.
Where'd you see that? He just got the hand on his chest.
On the edges, on the bits of filigree on the edge.
Totally missed that.
Have you do you know what it says?
No.
Yeah, you seem pretty unsurprised about the whole thing. The wolf, the handprint, the signature.
Well, I mean, the handprint's been there forever. The wolf, honestly, I think that's just kind of caught me by so much surprise. I don't know. I'm more interested in the words. I mean, they've been there for as long as I can remember. Just never.
Yeah.
No one's ever actually read them.
Yeah, what does it say?
They seem quite dangerous, so I'll read them out, but don't speak if you feel unsafe. This one born to Ithis be, marked for death if a Formaldus speaks. 25.
Hmm.
You said you got this in prison?
Oh. Hmm.
Insight check.
Oh, you don't need one. This is you outright catching him in a lie.
Yep. I was wondering if one of you were going to catch it.
Now, if things you actually said get caught up and somebody catches it,
Yeah.
it's
No,
wrong.
I was waiting for someone to catch it. I just wasn't sure if you guys remembered or not. Yeah, well, I mean, I had it added to while in prison? No. I got this, well, I've had this mark on my shoulder for a long time. Don't know what it's from, what it's for. It's just there.
Humor me. How long is a long time? What was going on when you got it?
I mean, since I was a kid.
Did your parents have this?
Not that I can remember.
And they never told you anything about it, huh? Did you ever ask?
I mean, I had kind of an interesting childhood. Um, huh. I have a twin brother, but he doesn't have this mark.
So an almost twin brother.
And well, I can't exactly talk to my parents anymore. They're gone, so. But yeah, I mean,
What's your brother's name?
no shit, you caught me with my pants down on that. Isaac.
One sec. Yep. I've got this.
Yeah, my brother Isaac. Haven't seen him in a few years, but I don't know.
This is going to be a long shot, but DM, do we know of any place that they might have a store of knowledge of some kind? First thing that comes to mind is an archive, but I know they probably don't on this continent.
A library.
Or just an old dude who knows a lot.
You know, like old Ben seemed pretty knowledgeable. Tarley seems pretty traveled.
Sure.
Um,
As far as Falks or Aldenstead, we just don't know anything about them, so maybe
Yeah,
they
you're
do,
not-
maybe they don't. Okay.
yeah,
Do my best with what I got.
yeah. You think you're like best guess is like actually trying to find a library or any sort of archive of information where you'd have to go back to the mainland to do so.
Yeah. Okay. It's funny, Bauer. The more you tell us about your past and where you come from, the less I know about you.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I don't know that much about myself either.
Nope, doesn't do that much for me.
Yeah, well, imagine being in my shoes.
Raven specifically to give me a perception check.
Not great.
To beat a 7.
Oh, thank God, 9.
Okay. As you guys are kind of discussing, you hear back towards like your bedroll. You hear rustling.
What is that? Turn around.
That's a kind of look back towards around your bag is moving. Seems to have fallen kind of away from you guys, and the bag is moving.
I'm gonna shoot an arrow to get it to pin to the ground.
the like through the center of the bag,
Just a
Or-
corner of the bag, just to pin it.
in a corner of the bag. Okay. You easy enough fire an arrow. It pins the corner kind of to the log that you'd kind of been resting against, and you hear "Wah!" and one of the cats runs, jumps, and starts flying away with one of your like trail rations, like a piece of elven whey bread held between its teeth as it kind of ungainly gets into the air and starts flying away. Go ahead and take one ration off of your.
Told you,
Enjoy it.
flying cats.
And trash pandas back on the mainlands, and now we got flying trash pandas. Fantastic.
While
So is
we're
it still the
here,
middle of the night?
It's towards the end of the night. You guys probably still have another 2 hours before you get a full long rest.
just gonna start on an early breakfast.
Well, I'd like to grab a couple hours of more sleep before we head out, so.
All right.
I could do either.
Do you need somebody to stay up with you?
Nah, I'm pretty wide awake now.
I'm gonna head back to my bedroll.
You get back to the bedroll and you realize like the one that you scared off was like the last one. There, like your stuff has been like rummaged through. You only lost the one ration, but like your bedroll is like flipped open more so than it was when you got out of it. Your bag's been gone through. Like
Do I have anything else missing other than a ration?
no, just the trail ration. That's like your coin pouch has been like scattered around.
Okay.
You think there was more than just the one that you were able to catch that was here, and he was just like the one pressing its luck.
Okay. I'll just clean my shit up and go to bed.
And that. Rest of everybody, Kai, the rest of your watch goes by without further incident. You all awake to a beautiful new day. The storm has seemed to have receded, or it's been drizzling on you for the last few days. It's sunny out. It's warm. You have your last day of travel. Nobody else seems to have lost any stuff to forest cats.
And the sun, we can see that it's up, but because we're in the, I'm assuming we're still in the dense forest, so it's not shining a bunch of light through.
Yeah, like
Okay.
it's not even quite dim light. It's just like you can tell it's like going to be a nice day.
Okay.
Bits of sky you can see are blue and bright.
Well, hopefully that's a good omen.
Take that over rain any day.
Definitely. Kind of an off question. I don't really like saying names. Have you guys heard of a man named Melrose Gagar, by chance?
Have we?
I don't think I have.
No, none of you really would have
No?
had any interaction here. No.
Rose
Big-
Gagar.
I figured that was kind of a long shot. I'm looking for him. He's never met him, to be honest. But I've got one of my friends back in prison. He told me that he was framed by this guy. He's a dragonborn, actually. He said he was framed by him, and he wanted me to kind of look into it for him. So, all true to my word, I figured I'd at least ask around. He's supposed to be, if not already here, making his way to this continent.
Well, I've never heard of him.
Okay.
I'll keep
No.
my eyes out.
He, if you do hear of him, his name being tossed around, let me know. Also, apparently, he's very deceitful, so keep that in mind.
Gagar is, or
Yes, yeah, Melrose Gagar.
sure.
Do you have any idea what he looks like?
No, that's all the information I'm running on is Melrose Gagar. He was in a position of some power.
He's a
To a
gold
degree.
dragonborn, by the way.
Gold Dragonborn.
Melrose is.
Yep.
Wait, so who was the guy who framed him? He didn't have any information on. Melrose is the guy who framed him.
Yeah.
Melrose, yes. So Nick, he's my well, he's kind of my mentor in the prison. He's the one who kind of saved my bacon while we were there.
Got it. I
When I
thought
first-
Melrose was your buddy.
No. Melrose, I don't know anything about Melrose. Nick is the guy who was in there. He definitely pulled me out of a really terrible time. But anyway, he asked me to look into it for him, and I mean, I gave him my word I'd at least check into it. I don't know if it's going to go anywhere, but
Sure. Yeah, if I hear anything, let you know.
definitely appreciate it.
Well, being in this forest for a week is getting the better of me. What do you say we get to Fox?
That's been getting the better of me since day one. I'm ready.
So, go ahead and give me a survival check. This is your final day of travel. And if everybody wants to give me perception checks, because you're keeping an eye out for beyond danger and stuff, you're specifically looking for other like exile paths.
22 on the survival.
17 on perception.
24 on perception.
Okay. As you go, you continuing along, pretty solid path. Two things that you notice kind of in a similar period of time. First, kind of the distance you're going kind of follows along with where like the flying cats have been going. You spot kind of off where the trees kind of thin a little bit. There's a large tree, and you see like a dozen of these like flying cats that are like lounging in the sun, playing around. Kind of off. And then if you continue past that, let me know. If you just kind of continue on.
And we haven't seen any more like ironwood trees or anything, right?
Do Rachel, high or low? Just choosing you arbitrarily.
Hi.
High? You do not see any ironwood trees.
And you said there's like 12 of these flying cats just hanging around this area?
They're lounging around. There's like a small clearing with one large tree in the middle of it. And then these cats that are just kind of like lounging around. Some of them are playing.
That's where they grow the cats, I guess, huh?
Why?
It must be pack cats?
Maybe.
I'm gonna walk over to him.
So you walk in. They kind of notice you, and all of them kind of like skitter away kind of towards the tree. There's one that doesn't notice you enter, and it is the one that is rolling around with kind of like a distended belly from having overeaten on ration wrappings at the base of this tree. A couple of them like skitter a little bit farther away. One of them's like dragging a piece of fruit across the ground, trying to get away, like so you can't take its food. And as you approach, you notice that, like the tree that these are all playing in is bearing like large fruits, not pineapples. Sorry, fruits, but I'll actually just go based on your survival check. That's it's a large fruit bearing tree, and the cats eating from it seem to be like have created a little like nesting ground for these. You actually see a couple small nests up into the tree. Yeah, this just seems to be the home of some of these flying cats.
So there's cats that are eating these fruits?
Yeah.
Uvalda, can you put this on our map?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll take one of my rations out, break a little piece off, and bend over to the cat that's like on its back and just give it a little pet.
Like kind of rolls away from you, and you said you like took a piece of like ration and broke it off and handed it.
Kind of like offered it.
It kind of looks at you and like half hisses, but then like kind of rolls towards the food and is just stretching its neck out towards like where the food is on the ground, and its legs just kind of stretch out as you rub its belly, and it finally gets its mouth like tongue to the piece of food and like snaps it up.
Maybe ask next time, little guy. Just give him a little scratch.
Rolls around a little bit.
Can I grab a fruit, or are they up too high?
You'd have to like climb a little bit, but you kind of get up to the tree, reaching up, and yeah, you can pretty easily grab a fruit. They're large. They look the closest thing is like dragon fruits,
I was going
but they're
to
like a deep blue color.
gonna cast Mage Hand and probably grab 2, 3 of them.
Okay. Yeah, easy. It seems to be pretty plentiful fruit.
Do you think this might have anything to do with any of the rifts we've seen around here? I'll just like twist it in half and like look at the inside. I attempt to
it's-
twist it in half.
Yeah, it's a really meaty fruit. I will say, as you like go up and start climbing, like you climb up the tree a little bit, you realize that the trunk seems to be made out of like twisting vines more than like one cohesive tree.
Then let me rephrase. I'm almost certain this has
Or
something to do with
imagine it
the Feywild.
Is it this fruit? Is it like a juicy kind of like watery style fruit, or
A little bit watery. It has like kind of dense meat that you can like scoop into a little bit. Very.
like
Have you had a
actual meat?
well, not like fruit meat. Have
Okay,
you had
got you.
have you
Okay.
had a dragon fruit before? I'm actually like imagining like
Yes, and they are terrible.
I love
I've never
dragon
had it.
fruit. So you're wrong for one.
I mean, I guess
love
I
dragon fruit.
had a white dragon fruit. That's the only one I had. So
I've never had one.
Yeah, they have. It's like it's pretty close to watermelon, but it's softer. It doesn't have that like crunch to it, and
Okay.
it's full of like almost like chia-esque seeds that you can also eat.
it's kind of like
So
a
in a
kiwi
sense,
texture
like
in a way.
maybe like a
Yeah.
strawberry or a kiwi kind of thing.
Yeah, a little. Yeah, close.
Okay. I'm definitely gonna hold on to this.
Can we look around and maybe find a rift?
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
And I'll let him know the last one was in the middle of the tree.
Yeah, Raven, you want to just help me out?
I'm rolling freaking good today. 16.
I'm rolling balls. 3.
Oh, you didn't roll with advantage?
I can. I thought you were helping. Why don't you go ahead and roll?
Roll your
Roll the
yourself.
advantage.
16, 3.
Not great. It's a natural one for a 6.
Vala, are you rolling as well?
14.
14. Okay, so you guys look around. Kaya, you don't find a rift, but as you kind of get closer to, like, as you're all look around, you kind of meet back up in the center of this clearing. There, you notice two things. There is one of these flying cats that is kind of following Raven, just at a distance, and every time like he turns around, it'll like sit down and look around. Second, there's like a vroom, 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 vroom sound
it the
coming from
same-
Raven's backpack.
Oh, from his backpack. Okay. Hey Ven.
Yeah.
Does your reading tablet tend to make sound?
Have I ever noticed a sound before? I don't think I have.
No, but as he kind of points it out, you hear just a low thrum that's coming from your pack.
No, I've never noticed that before. Let me take a look.
Or if it's reacting to something around here?
Yeah, and as you pull it out, the tablet is just vibrating. It's just kind of shaking, and as you kind of turn one side, it diminishes a little bit, and then as you turn back towards the tree, it increases.
It's
the
a metal detector.
vibrations.
Definitely
It's a mining
seems like
tablet.
it's feeling something from the tree.
I don't know if you'd want to get it too close to it.
No, I can stay back.
Don't know what would happen.
How do we close the last one of these? Did we close the last one of these?
I shot it with an arrow.
Shot the tablet with an arrow, right?
Yeah. We
Yeah,
never
I don't think
got
we wanted that
we never
twice.
got Alessandra's closed. But she didn't have a tablet near hers.
Maybe it was on her side.
Yeah.
Well, let's look for a tablet.
Either way, I mean, I have a feeling it's inside the tree,
Tablet or the portal?
and that well, maybe both. The downfall is I mean, we're gonna make something angry if we start chopping down this tree.
I
Probably.
don't think we should chop it down.
It's just vines. We can probably just to get through. I don't know. Let's try, and I'll see if I can't get my fingers between two of the vines and just make a small hole real quick.
Yeah, go ahead and make an athletics check.
Great.
See if you can turn your luck around a little bit.
18.
18. You get your fingers in, and like these are hard. It's like old vine where it becomes very wooden. You're able to pull it apart just a little bit. You find some of the softer, greener, like newer growths. Pull it apart, and you do see there's a hollow. And as you pull it across, there is like a dim light that kind of gently pulses, like a low green light, very similar to the one in Alessandra's Grove that you had seen.
Yeah, there's probably a portal in there. I'll just let it go, and I assume it snaps shut.
Pulls back together, kind of retightens.
Well, I don't think this one's much of an issue. I don't think we need to do anything about it.
Didn't Alessandra say they were trying to close them all? Like she was trying to close hers, and that one wasn't an issue at all. It had all the nice growth around it. There were no puppet trees trying to kill us there.
Yeah, she did say that they were trying to keep these closed and fix them. But, I mean, we weren't able to do it.
This sure would be a wonderful time for your friend who's been watching us to, I don't know, give us some insight. If she is
Well,
watching us.
I mean, we know where the camp is, or at least a general idea.
Yeah, maybe
But
we.
either way, maybe we should check out folks first.
Yeah, let's mark it, and once we know more, we'll come back.
Really quick, I had commented on this, and it has been less time for Raven than it has for Mike. When you attune to the tablet to control the magic, you did feel as though you might be able to use that to assist you in opening or in closing portals that you found.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just I could create one or close one that I have. But, okay.
But
And
you
that's-
specifically. Gotcha.
I mean,
I will say, for purposes of this, if you're able to like see the portal for a full round, you can expend the charge that you would normally use to cast the spell. You can use it to close an existing portal. We'll say it wouldn't take a full round. It would probably take you a full minute doing it that way because it's not really fully the intent.
I mean, we can. Maybe this tablet controls portals, and I can try to close it. I'm a little worried though that I might get hurt again.
You say you were afraid of it last time.
Well, and the other side, right? These I don't know what you call them, flying cats. I mean, I imagine they're from the other side. If you close the portal, are they going to be able to get back?
That's one idea. Are they from the other side, or are they just affected by what's going on here?
Go ahead and make a nature check. Anyone except Raven. Anyone, because you've already made the check.
You 14.
13.
13. None of you are really sure about these. They're not anything you've seen before, but this is a continent you'd never been on. Nobody had really been to.
And I don't want to sound cold or calloused, but if we end up killing 2 cats to save an entire environment, I'll take the hit. Yeah, no
One.
offense.
Bala's gonna go up to the tree vine thing and touch it and see if she can try and talk to Alessandra. Alessandra! Maybe if we call for her through the tree, we may be able to get her to come, guide us.
Go ahead and give me a D100.
Roll a 100.
100 will guarantee it, but I have a specific number in mind.
32.
No, unfortunately, you kind of call out for a moment.
I think it's kind of like just a hole to another part of her world. I don't think it's just the same area.
I know, but she's the only one we really know over there. Best bet I could make.
Sure. We could
Well,
just put it out there. Chop the tree down, rip the portal open, go through, meet people over there.
Or
Just throw it
instead,
out there.
I could just use the tablet and create our own portal instead of ruining nature.
I would much prefer that.
Let's,
Sure,
let's
whatever
put
you
it
wanna
on the list of things to do.
Okay. I'm just
Now,
throwing it out there.
going to go before the camp or after the camp?
I'm not really interested in going over there quite yet.
So, folks, camp, portal.
Maybe, yeah.
We could close this right now, though, right?
Yeah, but I have a feeling I'm gonna get hurt, so
Your call. I mean, we got Vala right here.
do we think that we need to close the good one?
Well, I mean,
let's be fair. We don't know if they're actually good. I mean, as it is right now, they're letting us hang around.
and I don't have anything to bring anybody back to life again.
Also, they're good on our side, right? What if all the energy bleeding out of wherever it's coming from, like, sucks the good out of there and puts it in here? You know what I mean? It could be a negative for them and a positive for us.
But we don't know any of this, whether it's good or it's
Right,
bad.
Speculating, I'm just saying.
I don't think we
Well-
can take any action from it.
Sure, you're right.
I mean, they've been here for at least a little while. I
Yeah,
would say
probably won't
maybe
hold, for the next day or so.
I'd say maybe another week or so, even longer.
Hit it on the way
It
back.
won't change that much.
Here's that little guy. You can stick around for a
Wow,
little bit.
you look and he's batting at like one of the strings falling off of your backpack, the loose end of your rope.
No.
Is that kind of the fat cat?
Yeah, this is the one that has been like following Raven around because he's been feeding it.
That little piece of mushroom I took off of. I highly doubt this is gonna work. That little piece of mushroom that I took off for the squirrel, I'm gonna reach over and just kind of have the cat maybe like smell it or anything along those lines.
So you kind of hand out, and it kind of backs away from you for a second, and then as you hold it and realize you're offering food, it reaches out and sniffs it, and takes it in its mouth, and does the cat thing where it like slowly holds it and then like tears into it and eats it. Nothing happens for a moment, and then its eyes go black, and just smoke starts pouring out of its mouth and eyes and ears and starts filling the grove. And the cat's just sitting there. The cat seems fine. Starts batting at Raven's rope again as
I am-
just fog is pouring out of like it stands up for a minute and it's coming out of every orifice. Like fog is just billowing
Yes.
out.
I am definitely using this in the next brew.
That was from eating the fruit?
No,
the
the
mushroom.
mushroom,
Mushroom,
a piece
okay,
of
okay.
mushroom.
Definitely using that in the next brew.
Yeah, I'll take a batch
Poor
of that.
creature.
Yeah, I mean,
Seems
it
fun.
doesn't seem like it's hurt.
Loving life.
Will, you're still carrying around the ironwood greatsword, right?
Uh-huh.
Is it? It doesn't have a like you don't have a sheath for it, does it?
No, it's just on my
Okay.
back.
I'll say that as you kind of were looking around, like, you might not have noticed this, and anybody else, it would have been kind of obvious. As you like pulled on the vines, like you forced them apart, as you let them go and like turned back towards the group, the vines closest to your back, where the sword is, actually like pulled themselves away from it, like separating out, trying to create distance between the sword and you. And this is like as you guys are kind of talking, Arelton to be the one closest to the tree. There's like a hole where the vines have like pulled themselves away from the sword.
Have I noticed this?
No, it only happens when you turn around.
Anyway, should we eat this fruit?
Oh, Relton?
Well,
There's the vines are moving away from you.
What do you mean?
They close, like snap back shut as you start to turn.
Do me a
think
favor.
that's-
Take your sword out.
I grabbed the sword I use, not Faybreaker.
Sorry, the ironwood,
Oh, the other.
and turn around and just slowly move the sword towards the tree.
So you
Dude
do,
does that.
and the like concentrated vines that make up the trunk of this tree all like pull themselves, like stretch themselves as far away as they can. They hit like a critical point where they can't stretch any farther.
Mhm.
They can't push against each other without like dropping the entire tree, which they're not seeming willing to do. But they're trying to create distance between themselves and the sword.
Does it open up enough that I can see the portal inside?
Yeah, that's
Oh, that is so much easier than trying to stretch it out. You sure you don't want to try the tablet now? It's nice and easy.
Yeah, let's hold off. I'm a little concerned that it's avoiding that sword, though.
Cool. And I'll just do like a quick back and forth, watching the
No,
vine stretch
stop.
because it's funny.
Not
Let's
bad.
be.
Can you
It's
just
still
what?
nature.
can you
It's
let me
fine.
look into the rip?
Oh yeah, sure.
you look in this one, like there's a dim light coming from it, and there's like water dripping out.
Can I put my hand just up to like if here is the
The
thing,
portal?
I just want to the portal. I just want to like touch the outside to see if it's like actually wet. I don't want to like.
Yeah, you touch, and it feels almost like sort of like I can describe this to you as Rachel better than I can describe it because Paul's feeling it. It feels like saran wrap as you kind of press against it with liquid behind it. And as you kind of go, like one of your fingers does kind of cross the plane a little bit, and it is like fully submerged, and the dripping is like this tear. There's a little bit of a seam, and it's like the water pushing through and just slowly dripping onto the ground.
it's pretty wet.
I'm sorry. I'll be back.
So what you're saying? There's a slit in reality, a slit in the air, and it's wet.
We're gonna have to censor this entire section of this.
Maybe we should just leave it alone. Keep
I'll say
moving.
this tear is not shaped like the same previous one. This one's like a perfect circle.
Okay.
There you
thank
go.
you for that.
This one's perfect sphere.
Let's keep moving.
All right.
Sure.
I'll take a step back and.
Put my sword away. I will take a bite of the fruit as we walk away, though.
Oh yeah. Go ahead and roll a d8 for me.
And I'm also that remaining bit of ration that I broke off of. I'm just gonna throw it into the center.
2. You kind of take a bite, and after a second, you take another bite. It's really delicious. It's like a mildly sweet, like lychee flavor, and then just you start feeling really good, like strong. You have advantage on attack rolls that use strength checks, and strength saving throws for the next hour.
Man, we gotta find something for me to fight.
I will say you can to get that point, you do consume enough of the fruit that like you wouldn't be able to take a bite of fruit and get this effect. Like you had to kind of eat through enough of the fruit that.
Like I don't have the fruit anymore. It's like,
Correct. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Is there obviously like a fallen fruit, maybe like a seed or something like that on the ground anywhere?
Yeah, so the fruit he had was actually full of little seeds, very
Okay.
dragon fruit like. But yeah, there's lots of fallen fruit. There's some of the cats are like snacking on it.
Okay.
But you do notice. Give me a perception check here.
I don't notice shit.
Okay, yeah.
Not a natural one.
It's the second this game for you.
Yep. Since we hit this area.
Yeah. Feeling fresh.
Oh.
All right, well, let's get to Falks then.
Some for me,
And
5
David,
o'clock.
how many of these fruits did you take? You said 3.
3.
3.
And I did throw that remaining ration back to the center where the cats were originally.
Okay, 2 of them like start playing tug of war with it, trying to fight over the ration.
I do want to mark that when Vala was writing down where this was on our like map thing,
Yeah.
she was also doing like a little sketch.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
You have capture like you have this really more detailed image of the tree, and then just like around the base, you have smaller little sketches of like the cats. Which for out of game, for reference later, that's they are called Tressym. Tressym. Okay, so you guys continue on. About half an hour later, you do actually stumble across another path based on your previous perception checks, leading kind of in line with to like meet up with the other path you had seen the day prior. But you do spot another path.
Probably need to mark that one down, alright? No sense in fooling with it right now.
Make a little
So
inconspicuous mark that doesn't
So-
say exile's
And-
path here.
right.
Yeah, and Raven, based on your survival, that's you can kind of tell the path itself does lead in the general direction of Falks. Not as direct a route as you've been taking, but this seems to be a path that has been made to go that direction.
This one looks like it goes to Falks. It's actually in the direction. Do we want to follow it?
Probably
Why
better
not?
than trying to bushwhack our way through.
At least until it veers off.
Sure.
Set to it.
Let's follow the path then.
Just follow the path. Another half hour go by, so you're about an hour away from the tree. That strength effect fades off of Orelton, and you just get tired. You gain 1 level of exhaustion.
Worth
Ooh.
it.
Information.
Do you all continue on?
Yep.
Yeah, that's most of the day goes by without any further event. As it gets into kind of more the afternoon, you see kind of come up over the horizon. Actually, as you break a tree line, because it is not this is not cleared quite nearly as far as Harlan's Landing. You see, short distance away, a large wall, much better seemingly put together with actual like a rampart leading around it. You see the tips of spears and the tops of helmets kind of poking out as you have made it to the exterior of Falks.
Well, they look
Perfect.
better off.
Yeah, they do. Think they're taking applications?
Maybe.
Much fewer trees gone here.
Yeah, so you guys, there's a larger wall. So give me a perception check, any of you that are interested.
I'm interested in perceiving. I just don't do it well.
13.
17.
10.
10. Anybody that beat a 10, you kind of paying attention as you kind of walk along the wall looking for a gate. You like you can hear noise from inside the city. Uh, yeah, anybody over a 10 realize that most of what you're hearing is like laughing and music and drinking, and it kind of echoes from outside of the city. Anybody that got above a 15 notices that the helmets and spears, like along the ramparts, aren't moving. There's nobody walking around. There's not, like nobody's called out to you, even though you've been walking along the bottom of these ramparts. Um,
Sounds like they're not well staffed, however. Hear that?
Perhaps something's going on in town.
Sounds like a celebration.
Yeah.
Shall we head in?
So let's knock.
Well, let's see if we can get up to the front gate, and maybe someone will be there.
Continue on. It is a large wall. Like you're impressed that they've been able to build up something like this. And you come around this wall around the corner and make another few minutes of just walking along the foot of this wall. It's been pointed out that there do not seem to be any guards atop the wall. It's just the helmets and like spears occasionally. Like you'll see like the end of a boat like leaning up against it. You come to a large gate that is closed. The small like gate door, like the window slit to open up, set into like the bottom right corner.
Take out my sword, flip it so the blade's down my arm, and knock on it with the sword, so it's louder.
There.
You're still hearing music and stuff from the other side. Yeah. Who's knocking? Hey. And this thing slides open, and you just see like red-eyed, kind of ruddy-faced, just a man. All right, who's there?
Evening.
Evening.
We're from Harlan's Landing.
We saw some of your guys just a few days ago, didn't we? Nice. Interesting. What can I do for you?
Actually, what the hell can you do for us?
Mind if we...
Well,
Good.
well, we were out on a scouting adventure and just kind of taking the lay of the land, and we came up towards Falks because, well, on our way here there was a caravan that was supposed to be making its way towards Harlan's Landing. Has that left yet?
I don't know. I think they're still getting ready. Yes,
Okay.
I'm sure I saw them somewhere. But
Sounds
you
like
know anything about the caravan? Yeah, they're still getting ready.
This is a Monty Python sketch. Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Can we come in?
Yeah, sure. I don't see why not. It's give me 1 sec, and it shuts. And a couple seconds later, you hear creaking as the entire gate starts swinging out towards you. You have to take a step back. It swings out, and you see this kind of short, balding, red-faced man whose like one hand is holding a big tankard, and the other hand is like pushing down a lever that slowly is turning a chain that's swinging the doors open. It opens enough for you guys to like squeeze in. And as you kind of enter the street past him, there's a small table with some cards laid out, and two guys, or one empty seat, and then one other like kind of taller, skinnier, like scraggly man who's also holding a drink. You look past them to bright lights, colors, music, people dancing in the streets way more than you ever anticipated. You see kind of off is the opposite side of the town from where you guys first approached, but there seem to be multiple large ships at harbor with the mass. It's a town, like a full town. The buildings are all perfectly identical and kind of scattered about haphazard. I think with that, we're gonna wait till next time on Easy Dispel. And again, thank you everybody for joining us. It's been awesome. What was the I forgot to say the thing at the beginning, and then I said it, but I'm gonna say it again. Like, comment, subscribe. It helps us so much. That's we really want to. We're hoping to get a community going if we can. Hang out, share our adventures with you. If not, we're just gonna hang out and play D&D. We're glad that those of you that have joined us have. We love you. See you next week. Bye, everybody. Next time on Easy Dispel. You're new here.
That
What
we
can
are.
old effers get you? King of the Mead, they call me. King of the Mead. 2, 1.
No, hey.
I'm Engelaine. Sure you've noticed that we're not doing so well. About 2 weeks ago is when things started getting weird.
When was the last time you saw the mayor? Heard from her? Knew where she was?
I haven't actually heard from the mayor in the last couple weeks. I saw her. She came in for a drink. Told Effers that he had to get a sign on the door. And you guys see a large portal, like big enough to easily walk through. You guys both see coming out of
Sorry.
this portal, hoof prints. Oh. Hello, you. Come to join in the revel.
Well, more or less to say if we could talk out, maybe calming the rebels down slightly,
Just have a drink. And he splashes some water at you.
and going to pull some out and just basically like smother his face in it.
The room you guys walk into has been fully ransacked. All of you realize the reason why it's been left empty is there is a smell. And looking kind of behind it, there is just a corpse